If you've got a child who's wetting the bed long after you think they should have stopped, before you spend hundreds of dollars and take on a lot of work for yourself, try this method that is under $40 from Amazon. Let's talk about Pea Alarms. So I don't normally go on the internet and talk about my kids bedwetting, but when I do it in the kitchen. So bedwetting is sort of like something nobody wants to talk about, but a lot of people have dealt with. So I'm just gonna hit this straight on. Some of my kids were going through wetting the bed long after they've been potty trained, and I was looking for solutions. The main ones that came up were super expensive, like $200 or $300, $100 a month, and we had to do all of these different things where they watched videos, and I felt like it was very labor intensive for me. And already washing tons of pea sheets is super labor intensive. Can I get an amen? So I didn't really resonate with those. And then I knew that it was time, we had to do something about this. And so I just randomly went on the internet and found this, okay? I don't know how much it was, let me check. Okay, got it, $37. Obviously, I'll link it below. Far, far, far cry from the others. It's a sensor and it hooks to the underwear. Can you see? How do these beauty bloggers do it? Anyway, this goes onto the front of their underwear and it is a sensor, a moisture sensor. So whenever they sense moisture, it goes off, an alarm goes off. Sorry. The vibration is working, but the sound has kind of gone off. But if it senses moisture, so you can choose vibrate only, vibrate, and ding, 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 a big alarm, okay? So essentially, here's how, and it comes with stickers and a chart so you can keep track if it was wet, semi-wet, or not, okay? This sticker chart, the progress chart, is really fun. The kids, I think it really encourages some buy-in. So make sure and utilize that if you can. There's, you know, dry, whether they were slightly wet or wet the night before. It's a super fun add-in. So step one, buy this, okay? Step two, explain to your child what you're gonna do. Get out the stickers, show them how you're gonna keep track of all of the stickers and how all of that is going to work. Step three, and this is the important part, they need to be sleeping in the bed with you, okay? Here is why. Bedwetting happens primarily, you do your own research, but after all the research I did, one of the main reasons kids bedwet is because they sleep so deeply, their brain is not sending the alert to wake up. They just pee and they don't even wake up. So the reason this works so well, and I have had this work with 2 children, is because it trains the brain to wake up when there's moisture instead of just peeing through. What you will find, and what I found with both kids, is that they could have this on going beep, 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 and they would sleep straight through it while peeing. So if they're in their own room, it'll take you a minute to wake up. By the time you get in there, they probably emptied their whole bladder and the whole thing didn't work. They need to actually be jarred awake while they're peeing or about to pee to retrain their brain to wake up. So you want them in your room, okay? Or that's what I did. I've tried it both ways. The other way didn't work. So they're in your room. As soon as it goes off at night, you get up, you have to wake them up. I mean, like both of mine, I literally was shaking them and they were not waking up. This takes a few times, okay? You get them up, you walk them to the bathroom, you just have them finish peeing in the bathroom, change their underwear into dry underwear, put the sensor back on. If they're wetting a lot, they might wet a few times at night. And so you just keep going. This whole process really doesn't take but a few weeks, because after a few weeks of jarring them awake when they're peeing, their brain catches on. This is like a life skill. It's like, oh, I should wake up when this happens. And then it starts to be that if there starts to be a little alarm, they actually wake up and jump down and go do it. And then that goes into them just not waking up and not wetting the bed. It honestly is way cheaper than like a $300 option. It's like less than 40 bucks on Amazon. You get a little bit of bonding time with them and it really works. So according to this, the brand says Dry Easy. I don't know if you can find that somewhere else, but it's obviously very easy to find on Amazon. And on the back, you'll see my battery. I have both of mine, actually, the little cover of the battery flicked off, but it's just in one, the whole thing's in one piece. So let me show you how it hooks. So if you're gonna, yes, my boys like Pokemon because their dad's a dork and he has Pokemons from when he was, I don't even know, a kid. So it's gonna hook on right here in the front, okay? It's just gonna take the fabric, it's gonna go over it and hook straight on. Oh, try it again. Okay, and it's gonna hook like this, and then this is gonna come around and sit with them in the bed while they sleep. I highly encourage you to try this. If your child is a deep sleeper, if they are just sort of wetting the bed, whether it's caused by, you think, anxiety or just genetics. The genetics was a huge component when I was doing my research. You may find the same thing. Highly recommend.